Welcome to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. I'm here breaking down the 6-game slate from last night. Then we're going to go over a monster 11-game slate. I have the day off tomorrow. I will be researching, grinding all day, answering your questions on Twitter, giving you feedback, asking you for feedback. We're going to be mixing it up all day long. And just a really great slate of games. We're going to get into that later. We're going to go with our normal format of the show. We're going to start with my best DraftKings lineup. We're going to talk about our 4 feature players of the night. Then, of course, we're going to be getting into the point totals. And just got to tell you, not a good night at all in the sweatshop. At one point, we were just, please let me break even. And then it was, oh, please let me get at least half my money back. And then it was, whew, I'm glad I only lost $23. it was a bad night, really bad night. The buy-in was about 60. We lost about 23. So that ends a 8-slate streak of at least doubling our buy-in. We were able in that little hot streak to build our bankroll. So now we have something to go forward with and to continue on during this long season. Remember, that's why we stick to the code when it comes to our bankrolls. We only put in 10% nightly. Okay, of that 10%, we take 20, we put that in the large GPPs. That way, if we do have a lineup that hits, we get to reap the benefits. The other 80%, we put that in safe games, either cash games, quintuple ups, double ups, head-to-heads. For me, it's going to be single entry GPPs is all I play other than the larger tournaments. And we're not going to lose our entire bankroll in one night that way. That's the way we do it. We stick to the code and we stay strict with that, right? It's a long season. I want you to stay here with me through the whole season. So remember, bankroll management is key. It's the biggest part of playing DFS. Because if you don't have money to play, guess what? It doesn't matter who your core 4 is, right? All right, folks, let's go ahead and start it off by getting into the how did I miss that play of the night. Now, this is a guy who we should have been on, somebody who was in a really good matchup, somebody who just went under the radar. I don't know how he went 11% owned and not owned at all by me. It is none other than Andrew Wiggins. Now, he was also in the running for the Heat Check player tonight, but somebody in the later games has something to say about that. But Andrew Wiggins went out and had 36 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in 40 minutes at 12% owned. A really good price point was $6K. We didn't even talk about him in our last show. That's just how, unnoticed that he went. But if you had him in your lineups, he did a really great job, and I'm sure he brought you to the cash line. The next guy we're going to get into is the who that scoring all them points over there player tonight, and that's going to be Lil Bruh, Seth Curry. Seth Curry went out and had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in 27 minutes. Played a really great game. He was minimum salary. This dude was 3K and scored 41 DraftKings points. That's what, 13 times? 13x? He went super ham for his price point. He was as low as 3% in some of the larger GPPs. I actually had him in one lineup that helped me to recoup some of the money that I lost with my other lineups, and really great game for him. The next guy we're going to get into is going to be our Heat Check player tonight. Now, this is one of the later games. CJ McCollum went out and had a fantastic game, did most of his damage in the first half. In the first quarter, I think he had upwards of 30 DraftKings points and finished with about 57 points. He had 33 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Really great game from CJ McCollum, and they also got the win. The next player we're going to get into is that. And you know what? This stings a little bit. This stings a little bit. Can you imagine the humility that's gonna take for me to talk to you about who the motherfucking snowflake of the night is? That one motherfucker who ruined all the lineups? Huh? I don't want it to be personal. I don't want this to affect me. I just want to report the news to you. I just want to report news that there's a motherfucker out here that's acting like a snowflake. I didn't want him to be somebody that I was on. That makes me look bad. So Darren Collison, if you watching this, since you like to hit the chicks and you want to be a snowflake, when I see you, it's on. And that's why Darren Collison is the the snowflake of the night. He was also a part of the core four. He will never be a part of the core four again tonight because we brush it off. It's an interception. We threw it. That was a pick six. We threw it, but we got to get the ball back. They got to give us the ball back. We may need him later. He likes to hit the chicks, but we may need him later. Darren Collison, you're the night slow fake. Go to bed with that. You're going to wear that. Now, let us get into our best DFS lineup for DraftKings. We're going to start here with, now, I talked about the Cleveland stack yesterday. I talked about stacking games. And this lineup in particular was something that totally got thrown off by the events of the day. You can look at some of the names on this lineup and see that these are people that I wouldn't normally roster. I got swept into some of the news that went on, and you have to at some point throughout the day when these reports come out, because at some point it's going to benefit me that I change and I'm swiftly changeable and I'm able to adapt to the news of the day. Okay, so let's look at this lineup. We started with Kyrie Irving because this was initially a Cleveland stack. I can tell you who we had in here. We had Kyrie Irving, we had LeBron James, we had Kevin Love, and we had Channing Frye. We had Channing Frye. It was our Cleveland stack. But when the news came out about Marcus Chris starting and about Alex Len starting, I made some changes. Now I like Trevor Booker all day, so I moved off of Kevin Love, paid down to Trevor Booker, paid up to CJ McCollum, which really helped me out here because once I got in this game with Marcus Chris and Devin Booker, I was like, I'm going all in on the late game. So I ended up with Eric Bledsoe, who had a really good game, Marcus Chris, who underperformed, Devin Booker, who underwhelmed, and Alex Len, who also underwhelmed. But I had LeBron James, I had Trevor Booker, I had CJ McCollum, who went off for the 57, and I also had Kyrie Irving. So this is just to show you that sometimes you got to do it. Now this lineup still cashed. I believe I had it in, okay, yeah, I had it in 4 of the dollar entries, the GPP's dollar entries, and I also had it in the $3, the big one, the 25K to first place big tournament. And I finished almost 5,000 in the dollar tournament, and I finished about 18,000 in the one with 156,000 entries. Not a completely horrible showing, but it could have been a lot better if I had stuck to my core of players. Well, I probably would have had that old snowflake ass Collison in there anyway, so forget that. Well, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and jump into the player pricing for tomorrow's slate. Look at what we can look forward to, who are gonna be the high men, because you know, with a slate this big, all the stars are gonna be out. Let's pull it up. Westbrook is under 12K. Yep. We're going to start with Russell Westbrook. Now he's coming in at 11.9K. You might as well say 12,000. That is not a price I'm willing to pay, especially in a matchup against Toronto. They're really good against point guards most of the time. But I mean, Russell Westbrook is pretty much matchup proof, but he's still not somebody that I would want to go with. We've got James Harden at 11.5 against San Antonio. Do you want a piece of that? We got Dame again against Chris Paul defense. So the top point guards on the slate are going to be seeing some really, really good defenders. So that's something that we want to be on the lookout for as we roster our players. We got James Harden at 11.5. Kevin Durant, 9.5. That's a big drop off from the top being 11.5 to the next player being 9.5. That's 2K in savings you get. Dame Lillard, like I said, 9.1. Curry is now back at 9,000. We've got John Wall against Boston. He's 8.6. Paul George, 8.4. I kind of like him in that matchup against Philadelphia to bounce back. We got Draymond, who's always in play for me, at 7.9. Paul Millsap in Chicago at 7.7. Isaiah in Washington at 7.7. Carmelo going to Brooklyn. That's where he's from. 7.5. Excuse me, 7.6. We got LaMarcus Aldridge against Houston at 7.3. Jimmy Butler is going to be 7.2. Miles Turner looks like a good play. He at home. My man Kemba's at home. Don't let that scare you though, because Utah, they're playing Utah. But we're gonna get into that when we get into the point total. Don't let that scare you. I got something for that, right? Harrison Barnes going back to Golden State. Revenge game for Harrison Barnes. You got Devin Booker at 6.8. His price is going up. That's a little too much for Devin Booker. I can't roster him at that price, I don't think. Avery Bradley at 6.5 in Washington is going to be a good play, I believe. Gorgui Dieng, 6.4K in Orlando. Brook Lopez playing the Knicks at 6.4. We got Derrick Rose, 6.3. Vucevic is going to be 6.2. We've got some really, really good plays, a lot of plays tonight. It's going to be an 11-game slate, so it's going to be a lot to get into. Joel Embiid, we see that he's out. So Okafor, I love him. Where is he at? I believe he's at 4.8K. Where is he? 4.8K. I love him right here. I'm smelling a early favorite for tomorrow's core four. I really am. Just looking at Jahlil Okafor playing against Indiana, I'm looking at that definitely. You got Amir Johnson, Tyler Zeller at 4.6K. Marcus Smart is going to be at 4.5. We know that Jaylen Brown can't handle it starting, so we're going to check on that. He's 4.5 as well. Mo Harkless had a bomb game last night. He's at 4.5 against the Clippers, and Al-Farouq Amino probably won't play tomorrow. So that's something we want to be on the lookout for. So we've got a really good player pool tomorrow, something to dig into. This is where we can roster players that we want. In an 11-game slate, you are really forced into plays. Most of the guys that we have on our team are guys that we are going to want because the player pool is so large, the ownership is going to be so spread out. Unless some crazy thing happens and some foolish amount of value opens up, we should be able to get the guys that we want. Okay, now let us go ahead and jump into tomorrow's point totals. The first game on the list is going to be a team that is very near and dear to my heart because I live in the vicinity where they play. I am in South Carolina and they play in Charlotte, and it is the Utah Jazz going to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, there's no point total on this game yet, and the reason is because Kemba is at home, his hoe's gonna be there, and George Hill may not play. Now, if George Hill doesn't play, I love Kemba tomorrow. I love him. I like him already, and he's probably going to be in a great deal of my lineups. But if George Hill is not playing for sure, and we want to be on it on Twitter, following the Utah beat writers, seeing what they have to say throughout the day, as close as we can to lock, if that's what it takes. Because if Charlotte if Charlotte sees Utah without George Hill, without their best on-ball defender, the reason why they brought him there was because he fit that slow-paced defensive grind team. If he's not playing, I love Kemba, and he's immediately part of my core four. If we don't have George Hill, some guys, some plays I like in this game. Now we know we're not going to see Roy Hibbert. You can try Zeller. Caution, but I like him. He's very scrappy, especially at home. This team plays really good at home. They're a really good team at home, led by Kemba Walker, of course. On the Utah side, we're going to see Shelvin Mack if George Hill is not playing. We're also going to see a little bit of Dante Exum. They both are at very depressed salaries. They may be somebody looking to for a value play. You've got to like Derek Favors in this game. He is at 5.8K, I believe, which is still very cheap for what this guy can do. Like, he is a walking double-double. We got to check on his minutes to see if they're going to be limited or not. But even if, I mean, he's a really great point per player a guy. We saw what he did in his last performance. He can really go out there and grab some boards and score if he has to. I like Rudy Gobert in this game, of course. The Charlotte bigs are very undersized, and if I had to take a big in this game on either side, it would definitely be Rudy Gobert. You gotta like Nick Batum in this matchup as well. Gordon Hayward is not a very good defender, but Nick Batum is. Gordon Hayward and Rodney Hood are going to see a lot of the ball at the top of the key where he plays his best defense. You know, he plays his best defense around that perimeter. That's why they brought Nick Batum in from Portland. He's a really good perimeter defender. I like Nick Batum. If I had to stack this game in a certain way, I would go Kemba, I would go Nick Batum. I would go whichever point guard is going to be starting, or I think is going to get the most minutes out of Dante Exum and Shelvin Mack, and I would go Rudy Gobert. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. This is a 209 point total with Indiana giving 12 points to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I don't know if I can trust that because Philadelphia has been playing pretty bad lately, especially defensively. They got rid of George Hill. They've got Jeff Teague playing there now, and he's not a very good defender. We know that we can get Sergio Rodriguez for the cheap because their point guard that was normally starting is still out. Dario Saric is going to be a kind of good play unless you think Paul George is going to at some point in the season return to his really great defensive status. But see, they were more of a good team defense last year, the Indiana Pacers, and they're just not playing very good team defense. I love Okafor in this game. He is going to be a really strong cog in most of my lineups. I really like yeah, I like him a lot. Robert Covington, he's probably going to be matched up with Paul George. He's a really good defender, so I don't like Paul George very much in this game. Even though he can go out and have a really good game against the Philadelphia team, but against Robert Covington defense, and then Paul George, Robert Covington playing against Paul George, I think they kind of cancel each other out a little bit. So if I had to go anywhere in this game, I would go Sergio Rodriguez definitely. I still like Jeff Teague in this game. He probably would see a ton of minutes, and I also definitely like Jahlil Okafor. The next game we're gonna be getting to is my New York Knicks at the crib, MSG, in a 212.5 point total with the Brooklyn Nets. Now this is a battle for New York. The Nets are not really traveling far at all to go to MSG. So there's really no home deal going on here. It's going to be a packed Madison Square Garden. It's a -8 in favor of the New York Knicks. They are giving Brooklyn 8. Let me tell you, Brook Lopez, the Knicks can't do anything with Brook Lopez in a low block at all. Joakim Noah is going to catch fits with Brook Lopez, so I definitely like him. My favorite play from this game is probably going to be Kristaps Porzingis. I put you on Hollis Jefferson last night. I kind of do like him again in this game because if there's one thing that we lack, it is power at the shooting guard. Courtney Lee, he's decent, but he's not a very good player. He can shoot it a little bit, but I like he's really active with the ball and without the ball. That's just part of his game. So it's going to take a lot of energy for Hollis Jefferson to stay with him, but he does have that. That's why he is on the floor. And I can't express the value of League Pass and watching. When I tell you, let me get closer. When I tell you I watch every NBA game, I watch every NBA game. A guy hit me up, was like, yo, how did you know about Hollis Jefferson? How did you know he was going to make value? I watch every NBA game. I saw his usage. Most often, even when a point guard is on the floor, that he brings the ball up. Rondae Hollis Jefferson brings the ball up, and he has the opportunity to start a play and make a play. Now, he's not very good, but with that type of usage and that depressed salary, it was a no-brainer to me that he would be a part of today's Core 4, or yesterday's Core 4, excuse me. So Porzingis is going to be a really nice play in this game. You can roster Carmelo Anthony at your own risk. Trevor Booker is a really great rebounder, so he's going to be a rebounding force in this game. The only way you're going to get value from Carmelo Anthony is if he does something other than score, which I don't think he's going to be able to do against this Brooklyn team. They are a very good rebounding team with the addition of Trevor Booker. So Derrick Rose may be somebody that you can look to. He's going to be a mid-price point guard. I think he's right around 5.9K. I'm not sure, but he's somebody that you can look to if you're looking for that mid-level at the point guard spot. Isaiah Whitehead had an excellent game yesterday, and he's not a very good defender. Derrick Rose is not a very good defender, so Isaiah Whitehead could actually catch some wreck against the New York Knicks in New York. The next game I'm going to be moving on to is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Orlando in a 201 point total. Now, this is a very small point differential. It is -2 in favor of Orlando. They are giving Minnesota 2 points. I definitely like Karl-Anthony Towns in this game without a doubt. He's going to be a really great play in this game. On the other side of the ball, we've got to look to the perimeter play for the Orlando Magic. I like Elfrid Payton in this game. I like Fournier in this game. Back to the Minnesota side, I'm not going to chase Wiggins or what he did last night. It was a very great performance, but I don't think that he's going to be able to do that against this Orlando defense, which is not very good. But the one place they do play well is along the perimeter. Elfrid Payton can harass you at the top of the key, and Fournier can stay with you. Fournier can definitely stay with you. He's one of those guys. He works just about as hard as he does on offense, on defense. So I do like Evan Fournier in this game. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to really have a great game, I believe, against the Orlando Magic. I don't like Vucevic in this game. I don't know if he was hobbled with some kind of injury or something. He's not been playing well at all lately. Jeff Green is going to be somebody of value you can look to if we see some foul trouble trying to guard Cat. Biyombo is somebody you may be able to look to if you see some foul trouble trying to guard Karl-Anthony Towns. So this 201 point total, it's one of the lower point totals of the night, but it's definitely something that you can get a piece of if you pick the right guys. The next game we're going to be getting into is going to be the Boston Celtics going to Washington to take on the Wizards. Now, we still got some news coming out of the NBA about John Wall and him bumping the official just to make sure that he's still going to be able to play. I don't think it's going to be a suspension situation, but keep your ear to the street so we can find out exactly what's going on. If John Wall does play, I do not like him in this game. He's at home, so he's in play. Anytime a point guard with that type of talent is at home and the focal point of their team, he's definitely in play. I just think that on an 11-game slate, we can go other places and we can get more by paying less. So I do not like John Wall tomorrow, but on the other side, I do like Isaiah Thomas. I like I always like to stack the Celtics. You know that. If you watch enough shows, you know I love to stack the Celtics. And when Al Horford gets back, I will be doing it more. But I like this complete backcourt. I love Avery Bradley. He's been playing very hot. I would say he is the hottest player in the league right now. I would say that. He's playing very hot right now. So him and Isaiah Thomas, I think, will make a really good backcourt duo to have in your lineups to give you that kind of stack, because a lot of their plays come off of each other. A lot of shots that Bradley knocks down are coming off an assist from Isaiah Thomas and vice versa. I like nothing in the Boston front court, but like I always tell you, with a team that I'm so experienced with because I played them a lot, I can tell you this is one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. I'm talking about the Boston Celtics. So I love Marcin Gortat in this game. I actually like Otto Porter in this game because he's been called into more of a rebounding role as well. I like Markieff Morris as well. I like the whole Washington front court. I would stay away from the Washington back court, but I do like parts of the Washington front court against Boston at home. And we don't have a point total on that yet because they're still waiting to find out what's going on with John Wall, and because we still have the injury to Crowder. Crowder is still hurt. We don't know who's gonna get the start there. Whether it's gonna be Jaylen Brown, or whether it's gonna be Marcus Smart, or whether it's gonna be Rozier. Any one of those guys might get the start. The next game we're gonna get into is gonna be the Chicago Bulls going to Atlanta. Atlanta's a very hot team right now. They just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, so they're feeling well, feeling good. It's gonna be Chicago going to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Now, this is a 203 point total, but the differential is -3 in favor of Atlanta. They are giving Chicago 3 points. There's a lot to like in this game. It's a lot to like in this game. The first thing that jumps off to me is Millsap. I like Millsap a lot in this game. I like Dwight Howard a lot in this game. We may be getting Kyle Korver back. I'm not sure. His wife just had a baby. They're like 5th baby. They're all named K something. So we want to be on the lookout for that. On the Chicago side of the ball, Jimmy Butler had a pretty good game last time out. I think he can continue that against this Atlanta defense. I mean, he's going to see Bazemore or maybe Thabo or even Korver if Korver is back. So I like Jimmy Butler in this game. And anytime I like Jimmy Butler, I also like Dwayne Wade. It seems like they play well off of each other. The only guy that I was not touching this game at all is probably going to be Rondo. I don't like Rondo. His price is still too high. To me, he's a 5K player. He's not a 6, 7K player. He's about a 5K player. So his price is a little too high for me. I think I can get more by paying down somewhere else. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Toronto Raptors going to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Now this is a 202 point total with Oklahoma City only giving up -3.5 to the Toronto Raptors. So I don't like DeRozan. I like DeRozan. He's too scoring dependent, but I love Kyle Lowry in this game. I do not like Russell Westbrook. I am not paying 11.9, 12K. I'm not paying that for one guy. That is too much of a hit to my salary. I'm not paying for him. I don't like him at all. Now I do like Steven Adams in this game. Shout out to my man. I do like Steven Adams in this game. I think he can have a really great game. I like Cantor as well in this game. I like the Oklahoma City front court. Jonas Valanciunas is not playing as well as we all thought he would in the beginning of the year. I think a lot of that has to do with DeMarre Carroll. Now, DeMarre Carroll is 3.7K. This is probably the lowest I've ever seen this guy. And for that reason, I am going to give him one more shot tomorrow. I kind of like the situation that DeMarre Carroll is in. He's not been playing well. His price is very low. They're going to Oklahoma City. It's going to be a fast-paced game, a lot of running, a lot of scoring, a lot of rebounds. So I think if I had to get behind any two players on the Toronto side, it would be Kyle Lowry and DeMarre Carroll, right? On the Oklahoma City side, I don't like Westbrook at all. Depot may be a good play. And of course, we can go to the Oklahoma City front court where we'll find Cantor off of the bench, who had a double-double, a 20-point double-double last time out, and Steven Adams as well. The next game we're going to get into is going to be Detroit at Phoenix. Now, Detroit is coming off a really bad beatdown. They just got their asses spanked by the Clippers, so I'm sure they're going to come out and want to play with a lot of energy. This game also may have a revenge narrative because I think that that Morris got traded from because they were both on the same team. They were brothers on the same team in Phoenix, and they traded the one brother to Detroit. So there may be a little revenge narrative going on here. And plus, I like him anyway. He's going to square off against T.J. Warren, and we've got Tobias Harris on the Detroit side of the ball too. So I do like Detroit's front court in this game. I love Andre Drummond. I think he's going to have his way with either Tyson Chandler or Alex Len, whichever one they roll out there. So for that reason, I don't like any of the Phoenix front court. I like Eric Bledsoe as a strong point guard play in this game. Devin Booker is probably going to be a decent play. He's going to see KCP. Devin Booker's not a really good defender, so KCP is in play too. This may be now if the point total wasn't so low, I would say it was a stackable game. But on a slate this big, there's no need to stack a game with this point total this low. I'm just highlighting certain players that I really do like. If I had to go for the bench, another player in this game is gonna have a revenge narrative, and it's gonna be worth it because he's only 4.5K. Is John Lure. John Lure played for the Phoenix Suns, and he is playing really well right now off of the bench. He's like the first big off of the bench in Detroit. So I like John Lure in this game as well. Next game we're gonna get into is gonna be the Houston Rockets going to San Antonio, taking on the Spurs. This is a 211 point total with San Antonio giving up 7.5 points to the Houston Rockets. And we all know James Harden is matchup proof. He's matchup proof. And if this was a 6 or 7 game slate, I would have no problem rolling him out there. There's just too much that I can be paying in better matchups to where I don't want to roster James Harden tomorrow. Now I do like Kawhi Leonard in this game. I love Kawhi Leonard. I think he's going to be probably the highest owned player on the slate when it comes down to it. He's going to be the chalk for tomorrow in my estimation. with a point total this high, and him being at home against James Harden, who can keep Houston in the game. I think we're going to see a lot of people turn to Kawhi Leonard tomorrow, and I have no problem with that. I'm going to have some shares of him too. I'll probably be a little bit underweight within the field, but I will have some shares of Kawhi Leonard tomorrow. I also like LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he's a good play. We're going to see some Tony Parker tomorrow. I do not like him. And we may see Danny Green. Now, if Danny Green comes back, I really don't like James Harden. Oh, my baby's calling me. Hey, baby. Daddy. Baby, go and get to bed. I'm coming. Yeah, go and get. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. She got to do this. She got to do this. Listen. Out of all my children, I have 5 children. This one is the most like me. She's very charming. She's very charismatic. Her name is Carson Denise Simmons. Tell everybody hi, Carson. Thank you. Thank you. Now, go ahead and hop in the bed. And when I finish my show, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to give you some sugars, okay? I love you. Give me sugar right now. Come on. Okay, now go and get in the bed. She's a little ham. She hears me doing the show. She comes in and she wants to be on the show. It's all good. Back to this is a revenge slate. We got a lot of revenge on this slate too. I was talking about San Antonio. Now, we know Eric Gordon is gonna be, if he's gonna be starting or come off the bench, doesn't matter. I don't like him. Trevor Ariza is somebody who I do not like in this game. I have no interest in the entire Houston side of the ball. Actually, the only player that I could roster in this game with confidence would be Kawhi Leonard. I don't want to get popped. He's the only guy that I know is going to come out and he's going to play well and he's going to play 30 minutes. So we can fire up Kawhi Leonard with complete confidence tomorrow. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Dallas Mavericks going to Golden State. This game doesn't have a point total just yet. We know it's somewhere above 220. We know that. It's going to be a high point total, and I'm sure Golden State is going to be heavily favored in this game. Now, you stealing candy? What you doing? Get the candy. Get the chips and go. Oh, ain't not in there. Go ahead. She stole some nerds. Go ahead, get them and go. Go ahead. Go ahead and get the nerds. She's stealing candy. All right, so now we got some revenge in this game. Now I don't know if y'all remember this, but last season, Seth Curry was minding his own business, chilling on the bench, being Steph Curry's brother. He was cooling, and Steph said something to him. He said something back. The next time down the court, Steph gets the ball, throws it in the air, turns to his brother, and says some kind of crazy shit to him. And before he could turn back around, the ball was still in the air and it dropped in the bucket. He didn't even see the ball go in, right? I'm sure if he's a brother, because I have a brother, ain't my brother gonna do me like that. I'm sure we're gonna see a good game from Seth Curry tomorrow. I like Seth Curry tomorrow. Mark it down. Seth Curry's gonna ball out tomorrow. Hopefully the price is gonna still be 3K. We'll see. In this game, I do like Draymond Green. Harrison Barnes' revenge is in this game. You know, he was with Golden State last year. They didn't want to pay him the money, so he went to Dallas and got it. So he's gonna want to show up and have a really great performance. There's a lot of juicy shit in this game, man. I like Steph Curry in this game. I like Klay Thompson. I do not like Kevin Durant at all. Just something that's telling me that I'm not gonna want to roster Kevin Durant in this game. So there's a lot of good shit in this game. The next game and the final game on the slate, we will do 11 games that quick, is going to be the Portland Trailblazers, second half of a back-to-back, going to a completely refreshed LA Clippers team. This is a 207 point total with the Clippers giving up 9 points to the Portland Trailblazers. You know how I feel about Damian Lillard. If you listen to the show, you know I love him. Tonight, I was with him all the way. Everybody was panicking in the first half when he had 7 points. And then I knew he was going to make value for me. He was a part of my core 4, but I ain't fucking with him tomorrow night. I'm not. Chris Paul is a really good defender. The only thing that might steer me, that was trying to steer me toward him more, is everybody know how good a defender Chris Paul is. So his ownership would probably be waning toward, the less 10% or less. That's the only thing that's had me contemplating on Dame Lillard. But I don't think that I'm going to be very invested in his game tomorrow going up against Chris Paul. And on the other hand, I love Chris Paul. Fire him up. Chris Paul is going to be a great play tomorrow. Top point guard on the slate, in my opinion. And he's cheaper than Russell Westbrook. He's cheaper than James Harden. He's cheaper than Steph Curry. Fire him up. Fire him up. I love Chris Paul tomorrow. He's probably going to be the second highest owned player on the slate behind Kawhi Leonard. If I know what I'm talking about, I think he will be. Mason Plumlee always destroys them for some reason. He plays really well against the Clippers. Check out his game splits, his splits against them. He plays really well against them, and I don't think that changes tomorrow. I like that, and I like to have a cheap late night hammer that may be able to hit 5-6 time X. So I do like Plumlee tomorrow. On the other hand, McCollum is a streaky, hot shooting guy, and right now he is shooting hot, very hot. I like him tomorrow. He's going to be seeing defense from JJ Redick, which is no defense at all. So I like him tomorrow. And we've also got to be aware of Al-Farouq Amino being hurt in tonight's game. So we know that Mo Harkless is probably going to get the start in there. And that's going to bring up some Noah Vonleh love, some scrub love, right? So these are players that I do like going into tomorrow's slate. We can play a really nice late game slate. After the 9:30 games, you get the Houston, San Antonio, the Dallas, Golden State, and the Portland Clipper game. I mean, you're gonna have some top flight talent and just in that slate by itself. So we want to be on the lookout for that as well. On the Clipper side of the ball, Blake Griffin is definitely in play in this game. I've been kind of timid to roster on DeAndre Jordan because with Blake Griffin there, he's not scoring. Like, he's getting the rebounds, getting the blocks, doing the dirty work. But when it comes, see, I need a double-double. If I'm paying anything more than 6K, by the time I hit 6K, you have to be a potential double-double candidate. We play DraftKings, and we need that. We need the double-double bonus. We need to be if you're a point guard, you need to be eligible and able for us to put you on a triple-double watch by the third quarter. If you can't do that, then we can't roster you with the confidence that we can roster other players with. So I do not like DeAndre Jordan tomorrow. If you're looking for some scrub love, because this is a 9-point over-under, you can always go to Mo Buckets. Maurice Spates is probably a really good punt play. If you're looking for some scrub love off of the bench because you're trying to pay up to get access to some of those superstars. So tomorrow's slate, man. Did we really go through 11 games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I done got so comfortable doing this shit because I'm with family, man. I'm with family. There's a couple of different ways to get into the sweatshop. This is the first way. This is your entrance. This is the gateway. This is the door to the sweatshop. You watch the videos. They're open to everybody, right? But the next step is you following me on Twitter. You following us on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. We chop it up all day. We bounce ideas off of each other. We stay in constant communication because we are really serious about getting money with this daily fantasy sports. So I am your DFS Jerusalem. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Signing off. Thank you. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and let's go ahead and get this money.